One of President Abraham Lincoln's most important executive orders was issued on January 1st, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation freed 3 million slaves as the bloody Civil War entered its third year. The proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states were free then and forevermore. The original document is housed in the National Archives in Washington, but in 2011 it was loaned out to the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn for 3 days. Nearly 22,000 people stood in line for up to 8 hours to view Lincoln's proclamation. Here's an excerpt from a video about that historic document, courtesy of the Henry Ford and Motion Possible.
On December 1st, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln addressed Congress. At that time, he had no way of knowing if his countrymen or the world would accept his proclamation. In giving freedom to the slave, he asserted, we assure freedom to the free, honorable alike in what we give and what we preserve. We shall nobly save, or meanly lose, the last best hope of earth. Other means may succeed. This could not fail. The way is plain, peaceful, generous, just. A way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud, and God must forever bless. We will never truly know Abraham Lincoln's personal motivation for crafting the Emancipation Proclamation, and perhaps his reasons are of no consequence today.
I get leadership lessons from Abraham Lincoln. I don't always look at him in terms of, the person who freed the slaves. I look at him in terms of he had a country that was really falling apart. He did what he needed to do to keep the country together.
I really think he lived his convictions and did what he thought was needed to be done.
Lincoln was an absolute genius in the sense that he knew that he had to do things in due time, and if he rushed into it, that everything would collapse and there would be no hope of equality for all.
On September 17th, 1862, 22,717 soldiers were killed or wounded at a place called Sharpsburg. The Battle of Antietam was the single bloodiest day in American history. Yet, despite immense losses, this battle gave Lincoln the perceived military success he needed to emancipate the slaves.
The risk was significant, and he had to step up to the plate and go deep inside to his heart and know that that was the right thing to do.
Abolitionists in the North, including Frederick Douglass, urged Lincoln and ridiculed Lincoln for not moving fast enough, for not doing it sooner. And Lincoln took a lot of abuse, a lot of heat, a lot of ridicule.
Here's a person who is just so courageous from his youth to his teenage years to his adulthood, and the person who could actually care for people and bring them to another place.
On March 17th, 1865, President Lincoln addressed veteran soldiers of the 148th Indiana Regiment. Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. 29 days later, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
Ultimately, I think the nation has mourned Lincoln, primarily then, because he did so much, and collectively as a nation, we couldn't thank him.
People like us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for somebody like that.